Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the Golden Years, the third and the fourth Doctors. And this is Image of the Fendahl from 1977. This is from the 15th season. It's 4 parts, and it's Tom Baker, of course. Brilliant. But there's quite a few interesting things in this, which I want to talk about. I find it interesting that the last Doctor Who classic that I reviewed was John Pertwee's The Demons. And, well, in that, of course, we have got very much an occult theme. And it pops up in this story as well. Yes, there's obviously a very strong sci-fi element, but yet we have an occult theme in this, which is quite interesting. So throw that in. Before this, we'd had The Invisible Enemy. And then the next one after this is going to be The Sunmakers, which is an interesting, sometimes some might say controversial story. That's after this one. Now, say it's 4 episodes, and they were transmitted between the 29th of October to the 19th of November 1977. And it's written by a name that we've come across before, and that is Chris Boucher. The previous stories that he wrote, he only in fact wrote 3 stories for Doctor Who, were The Face of Evil, 1977. Remember, that is Leela's debut story. And then my favourite and one of the greatest Doctor Who stories is The Robots of Death, 1977. I love that, and I think it is one of the great Doctor Who stories in the whole of Doctor Who. It's classic Doctor Who, of course, the best. Yes. Now, Chris Boucher went on to become the script editor of Blake 7, and we know Blake 7 so much, and its links with, in many ways, Doctor Who. And so he was the script editor for all the episodes from 1978 to 1981. Incidentally, a series that he created, which only did 9 episodes, but is really quite an underrated series, is Space Cops from 1987. And he did lots of things that he was involved in terms of writing and producing. Yeah, very important contribution to Doctor Who. Then we've got we've got the new producer in, of course, which is Graham Williams. But it's in the other area which we see something important. Robert Holmes is the script editor, or has been, and this is his last story that he's involved with. And shadowing him is the new scriptwriter. And the new scriptwriter is Anthony Reid. We're going to hear his name, and he's settling in. So that is the end of an era with Robert Holmes, in his farewell script as the script editor. What a brilliant servant he was to Doctor Who. His imagination, his dedication, his work that he produced some of the greatest Doctor Who stories. Absolutely wonderful. Now, it's directed by George Spenton Foster, everyone was saying, "But who's that?" Yes, and, well, he went on to direct one more Doctor Who story, which was the Reboss operation from 1978, which, as I remember, introduced Mary Tam as Romana, the first um, version of Romana, and that's the Key to Time series as well. Anyhow, he directed that first episode, and then he just carried on doing TV series and like they do, directing that. So, as usual, the music is by Dudley Simpson. We've got some locations which fit in. It's at Stargrove's estate in Hampshire. And this had been used in Pyramids of Mars. Yes, an absolute classic story. So we've got that mixture in the story, which is great. It just always adds to it. Right. So the cast is headed by Tom Baker, playing the Fourth Doctor. He's just so comfortable, isn't he? And bringing a lot to it now. It's his show almost, in terms of he's doing what he kind of wants in some areas. He does get overruled sometimes, but he's very much involved in the character now. And then we've got Louise Jameson playing Leela, and I think she's settled in to the role really well, and her relationship with Tom Baker is much better than it initially was. But of course, on this story, she says that she did make the decision that she would be leaving. And of course, she does at the end of the season. But yeah, she's Lena looks very comfortable, I think, in this role now, and she's excellent. I think she's really good. Yeah, really good. Right, we've got Dennis Lill playing Dr. Fendelman. He was in The Awakening, 1984, which was season 21, Fifth Doctor story. That's his only other appearance in Doctor Who. And he was very much a TV actor, doing lots of different shows and just appearances in all that, yes. Then we've got Scott Fredericks playing Max Steele, or Stale. You could say it was Steele, but there we are. Now, he was in Doctor Who, Day of the Daleks. Wow, 1972. The ninth season, third Doctor. And it's a wonderful time-travelling story. His career is very much, again, involved in TV series and stage as well. Then we've got Wanda Ventham playing Thea Ransom. She was in, believe it or not, Carry On Up the Khyber from 1968. Yes. Wow. And she was also in, yes, an Hammer film. Oh, I love it when we get a Hammer film. It's a later one. It's Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter from 1974. Wow. But in Doctor Who terms, she was in The Faceless One, which was season 4, 1967. That's a second Doctor story, brilliant Patrick Troughton. And also, she was in Time the Rani, 1987, which is the opening story for the 7th Doctor. Yes, she was in that one. Oh, right, you're saying. Then we've got Daphne Hurd playing Martha Tyler. Now, she has an amazing career. She plays the old lady in this, and she's good in the role. She goes back to 1948 in her career, and it's just full of wonderful appearances in lots of TV series and shows. And she was in the theatre, but she was really good in this kind of role, and that's what she did. Then we've got Derek Martin playing David Mitchell. And you're saying, oh, Derek Martin, that face might be familiar. Well, if you're a fan of EastEnders, you'll be saying, by heck, I know who that is. Yes, he was in EastEnders playing Charlie Slater, who was quite a key character. Between 2002 and 2010, he played it regular and then made often on and off appearances right through to 2016 when I think they killed him off. Yes, that's what they do in soaps. Anyhow, that is the major cast in this story. So, what is this story about? Well, it's a story where we see archaeologists and scientists working together, and they're near this. They're in this like big mansion, and it's near this woods, which the locals, because you always have your locals, believe is haunted, and they've got this time scanner which they're using to explore the history of this sinister 12 million year old skull that they've dug up. That's why we've got the archaeology. And so they're doing all this stuff with the skull. And of course, the Doctor and Leela are basically drawn in. They've arrived, that the TARDIS gets drawn into this. And the Doctor, of course, is wondering what is going on, like he does. He goes into it, but he always seems as if he knows, and he does. He always seems to know. He's way ahead of them. And it's wonderful, again, with his relationship with Leela. We're seeing all this develop. Anyhow, we get, within those contexts, we get the thrown in of the occult side, these people, and one of the people working at the manor fancies himself as a bit of a leader of this occult group. Like, you remember, like, the Master was the leader. He's the same. He's hoping to do all this stuff. But, of course, it's all an alien, as usual, the Fendahl. And we see two aspects to this. We see these, like I could describe them as rubbery monsters, which some people might think, yes, it's typical Doctor Who. And then they've got this wonderful, like, how could I describe her? She's like a goddess. They create this painted golden lady. And she's like this goddess character. And she's been one of the workers, one of the scientists there who gets turned into that one. Yes, and I think she enjoyed the role. Yes, she did. Oh, yes. But yet we get all those wonderful ingredients as the story progresses. It races by. It's only 4 parts, and it's a good story. Some people, I think, as I say, look at parts of this story and think, oh, it's not as good. But hey, it's Doctor Who, these funny creatures are quite good. They're part of the charm of it. But you can't really argue with it. I mean, the effects as well of the skull that we see, really good. And everybody plays the parts well. You can't really complain about the acting. It's excellent. They're all into it. And I loved it. I love this story. It just works so well. It really does. And what not to enjoy about it? I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You wouldn't perhaps put it as the greatest Tom Baker story, but you wouldn't put it as the worst either. It's one of those that you probably put in the middle sort of area. But that doesn't detract anything from it, because the standard is so high that this is just good when the others have been so brilliant, and that is not wrong at all. It's good just to enjoy it, and I thoroughly enjoyed this, and it's Tom Baker just doing Tom Baker brilliantly. fantastic. He is the Doctor now. Yes, completely. um, Now, this story was originally released on VHS 1993, and DVD was 2009. And of course, we've just had 18th of March, season 15, in the wonderful Doctor Who The Collection box set. And I can show you both. First, I'll show you the DVD. There's the DVD. Look at that, it's a great cover. Well, you've probably seen it now. And then we've got all these extras on there. The documentary, as usual, is fantastic. Inside, we've got a wonderful disc. Look at that. And just a leaflet with a bit more information about the story. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. And then I'll just show you it. I love showing this because it's so beautiful, isn't it? Here it is. It's on this. Yes. Oh, yes. It's part of this season. Wonderful. And we've got the same extras and plus more new ones on here. You can't argue. Quality, everything looks fantastic. But the DVD does look great, as they all do as well. But yeah, fantastic. And that's it. Yes. Hope you enjoyed my look at the best Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who. And there it is. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We'll let you know when I put out these videos. And have a look at the playlist. You can see all the past Doctor Who stories that I've reviewed. But I do much more. Just have a look at films and all sorts of TV series. There's just all sorts of things. And if you like this particular video, please give it a like. And it gets it out to YouTube and all algorithms and all that. And other people might enjoy it. And also, if you got any comments, please put your comments down. I'll have to read your comments. And it all costs notes. It all costs notes. Yes, I'll always answer your comments as well. Thank you so much. And all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.